All right, what's good? What's good, people? Welcome to my collaboration time. No, it's not Keek on the mic. It's not the Windy City Productions. No, it's not Fast Sports Talk. No, it's not Harrison Graham. No, it's not Pat the Designer. It is a new person. It is AKA Justin Your Chicago, goes by Jay. He has a shirt right here. So uh how you doing, Justin? Are you Chicago or Jay? Jay, how you doing?
Yeah, good, man. How are you? Nice. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk about the Bears. It's Friday. It's the last Friday, or the second last Friday without Bears football for the rest of the year. So I'm pretty excited about it.
So I've been seeing your channel lately. Obviously, you saw mine, but I want to get into a lot of digging on your channel because I've noticed a lot of stuff that's like. Do you like do these things for clickbait, or do you actually believe that the Bears can like go out and get a certain player? Because I remember one of the videos that I watched in particular was after we traded Justin Fields. You were trying to say that, hey, maybe we could trade with the Chargers and get Justin Herbert.
No, I mean, like anything's possible in the NFL. I never thought that we'd get Khalil Mack. I never thought we'd get Keenan Allen. I think that anything's possible in the NFL. We have a ton of capital. We're trying to build this team for the future. And, Justin Herbert obviously is a good quarterback. Chargers were rebuilding. Jim Harbaugh goes in there, might want JJ McCarthy to be his quarterback. Obviously, that didn't work out. I mean, you don't want to get rid of Justin Herbert, but you give a king's ransom and you get the player that you want. You build a team for a long time. So, no, nothing's for clickbait, but anything's possible. Just different scenarios that could happen.
Yeah, because when I first saw that video, I'm like, dude, is this dude really serious? Or like, because I originally when I first saw it, I thought it was clickbait. But I entertained some of your ideas, like the trading for Khalil Mack. Even the most topic one is trading for Micah Parsons. Like I still think it's possible because considering the fact that they did pay CD Lamb, and we don't know like they the problem is like with the Cowboy situation with Dak Prescott, like we don't know what's going on. So we all know Micah Parsons wants to reset the edge rusher market. I had a feeling like this was like some similar issue with Khalil Mack where he had contract issues with the did he have contract issues with the Raiders at the time before he came to Chicago?
Yeah, he wanted to get paid, and the Raiders weren't willing to pay him.
Yeah, so that when the Khalil Mack trade came out, I'm like, dude, I'm like the Raiders are gonna resign him. There's no way that they would let go Khalil Mack. But then when the trade rumors were coming out, I originally thought that he was gonna get traded to the Green Bay Packers. But
Yeah,
it became like when the news hit, I was like, what did we just do? We got Khalil Mack. And it's a similar situation with Micah Parsons. Like us people are saying, no, he's gonna get re-signed. There's no way the Cowboys are gonna trade Micah Parsons. So I just like thinking about the situation, like trying to like see an insider point of view about what's going on. It just seems like the Cowboys are um like the Cowboys like it's between like let's pay Dak or let's pay Micah Parsons. So that's the mindset of what Jerry's going through. So what do you think the Chicago Bear I mean not the Jerry Jones is going to do with Micah Parsons?
Jerry Jones, I feel like has always been a quarterback first kind of guy, and that's usually how it goes in the NFL. So, fortunately enough for the Bears, who could trade for Michael Parsons and afford him technically, they'll probably end up going with Dak Prescott, big name. You're good. You have a solid quarterback in Dak Prescott. They're obviously a little bit harder to find, at least for the Chicago Bears. The Cowboys seem to just keep pumping him out. But for Dak Prescott, you got to pay him. He's a good quarterback. Still is in a pretty decent part of his career. Still has good football left in him. Not saying Micah Parsons doesn't, but paying an edge quarterback money is pretty hard to do, especially from an owner's perspective.
Yeah, and think of that like mix between Montez Sweat and Micah Parsons. Like that would be like quarterbacks like if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see that trio, I would have to like game plan like who do we guard? Do we guard Montez Sweat or do we guard Micah Parsons? But let's talk about the quarterbacks because obviously, just another year Chicago, I don't know if were you ever a advocate of keeping Fields or trade or drafting Caleb Williams, or did you just entertain both?
Entertain both. I mean, I was happy with either scenario. I'm very happy that Caleb Williams ended up being a part of the Chicago Bears. Obviously, Justin Fields was a big guy, part of the Bears nation, was a little upset when he left, but the future is ahead, and I'm super stoked that Caleb Williams is now the Bears quarterback. So I was looking at either or options, but things are good.
Yeah, because I don't know if I did not do more digging on Caleb after the Bears traded Fields. And the one thing that stood up for me about Caleb is I just thought that he was just another quarterback that was good in college, but's not going to live up to the hype. Because you look at quarterbacks that go number one, like for example, if you look at Baker Mayfield, he went number one. If you look at Trubisky, he went number two. Like there's so many quarterbacks that were good in college, they just didn't live up to the hype. And even in the 2021 draft class, you look at a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who was considered generational. So Trevor's not even considered. So I just thought Caleb was just another flash in the pan for college when it comes to. But I did look at the tape, and people say that he's a good read quarterback. But my thing was, is this the same issues that Justin Fields had going into the NFL, holding the ball for too long, always looking for the big play. So that was my always concern. And did you watch the Notre Dame game where Caleb had a terrible game?
Yeah, that was tough to watch. And unfortunately, that's what kind of made me kind of question it a little bit. But it's one bad game, and it wasn't nearly the same talented USC team that he had his Heisman year. So I think Caleb continued to progress and get better. It's just one bad game that you have. It stinks that it was on against Notre Dame, but not.
Yeah, it made a lot of people concerned. And did you watch? Did you know the infamous Louisville game, the bowl game, where they were playing against Louisville and Caleb's backup outperformed him in that game?
I did see that.
yeah. People would use the term Caleb can't play against top 25 defenses. People say that Caleb basically they're saying that Caleb does will have the same issues as Justin Fields did. So that's my thing. So Jay, what do you think about the people that were kind of questioning about how Caleb Williams played in the second half?
I mean, I was one of those people. I'll fully admit it, and it's okay to be wrong. I was definitely wrong in that situation. I thought Caleb, everyone didn't know about the true drama or who he was as a person or, overall player. I definitely listened to the media a little bit more than that. Then I backed out and was like, okay, maybe this kid actually has something. Everything that he's brought to the table, he's the best quarterback we've ever had. He hasn't even played a down yet. He looks great in the preseason. He looks great in camp. I think that he's a great overall athlete. He's going to lead us to a lot of success. So during that time, you got to break down everything. Team that he was on wasn't progressing. It wasn't as good. Also, he was going to the draft. He didn't want to get hurt in that bowl game. So they obviously put their second stringer in it and let him rip it, which good for USC. Good to see that they have someone else out there. But also Louisville had a few of their star defensive guys that weren't playing because they were focused on getting to the draft. So, you take it with a grain of salt kind of deal. But overall, you look at Caleb's stats, 13 rushing touchdowns, almost 4,000 passing yards. a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio without a lot of his weapons from 2022 because they went to the NFL. Overall, I think Caleb Williams is a super solid player, and I'm really excited for him in the Chicago Bears.
I mean, when I heard the news about we were going to get Caleb, which it was confirmed, I was like, oh damn. I didn't think that they would but I kind of entertained both. I played devil's advocate to be like, okay, maybe let's say if the Bears do trade Justin Fields, what's going to happen? So I said to a lot of Bears fans, and people keep receipts on me. I said if we get Caleb Williams, there is no way we're going to get Rome at Doomsday. Like people were saying that. And they're like, no, we're going to land Rome at Doomsday. And I was sitting there, I'm watching through the draft, and I can't believe Rome fell to number 9. And people were saying, oh, haha, you were wrong. You were wrong about Rome falling. I'm like, dude, the Falcons, you better be thanking the Falcons, you better be thanking the Titans, you better be thanking the Giants, you better be thanking all of these teams because they let Rome fall right to us.
Yeah, so we were hosting a draft party downtown, and I was sitting next to Rashad from the Winnie City Productions, Sadiq from Next Wave Ball, a few of the other guys. And when we found out that Rome was still available after the Falcons pick, we all started freaking out because typical Ryan Pace move, went and got Michael Penix when you just paid Kirk Cousins. But again, like you said, I'm thanking the Falcons. I'm thanking the Titans. They did us some big favors in order to get Rome. And hey, like we were kind of started off with the show with, anything is possible in the NFL. Any trade situation, draft, whatever. Rome fell to us. We were super excited about it. We're very, very lucky too. So things are looking super positive, and obviously an A+ first round for Ryan Poles in the.
And you can tell Ryan Poles wasn't expecting Rome to be there. He wanted. There was film where he wanted to trade up with the Giants to acquire, and there was also a report that he wanted to trade with the Falcons to acquire Rome. Even he didn't expect it. So that's just like something that was just lightning in a bottle. Yeah, I thought we were going to get a defensive player.
I was a little on the table about getting Dallas Turner. I really liked him out of Alabama. I thought that would have filled the need because we did go out and get Keenan Allen. We had Tyler Scott. You had DJ Moore. So you already had a pretty solid room. But a guy like Rome is a generational type wide receiver. You got to go out and get him. So I was super stoked about it as well. Things are looking up for the Bears right now. It's a good feel. It's actually a good feeling to be a Bears fan for once.
And get on, kid. That may be the thing. Drafting Caleb can set the Bears back because I remember, I think it was, I'm trying to remember. I think it was the Raiders, and I think it was Jamarcus Russell that looked good in college, and that dude was hyped up, and then it set the Raiders franchise back. So we really do not know if Caleb is the guy. I mean, I hope he's the guy, but I don't think he's like people like, and I'm pretty sure Jay has heard this a lot. He's not Mahomes 2.0. He's not Mahomes. Like, Jay, do you have can you explain to me the Mahomes comparison between Caleb and Caleb for me, please?
Yeah, no, I mean, he hasn't proven anything in a regular season game yet, but he obviously has shown in college that he does have the athletic ability, kind of like a Patrick Mahomes. Williams' playing style was based off of Aaron Rodgers. He grew up, he's not a Packers fan, but he loved Rodgers as a quarterback. And if you're not a Bears fan, you think Aaron Rodgers is a super talented quarterback. As a Bears fan, I think Aaron Rodgers is a very talented quarterback. So Williams' ability, you've seen the behind the arm, the behind the back throws, the on the move, the air Caleb. He has all the gifts of an athletic guy like Mahomes. He just has to learn to apply it in a game. So I know that's an exciting thing to say. We could have Mahomes 2.0. We should have had Mahomes back in 2017 when we had the actual shot to draft him. But it also might not have worked out. Matt Nagy could have ruined him. From that perspective, I wouldn't compare him yet. But he definitely has a very solid, comparable playing style with the athleticism and everything of Patrick Mahomes. And I think he has a very accurate arm. He has great vision. He's always looking around. He never gives up on a play either, which is great. So it's hard to compare him to anyone because he hasn't been out there yet. But he does have a lot of skills that you see in other top quarterbacks.
I have said this before, getting Mahomes that year, and Mahomes would have never turned out. He fell in the perfect situation. He fell to the Chiefs. Yeah, they were good with Alex Smith, but they weren't winning any playoff games. Mahomes was an upgrade over Alex Smith. He was falling into the greatest situation, just like Caleb is, because the expectation was and will be, and I've said this with Keek on the mic, the expectation, regardless we would have kept Fields, was playoffs, because of the simple fact that this is a perfect situation for Caleb Williams to come in and succeed. There should be no excuses. Do I think he's going to throw interceptions? Yes, like many other rookie quarterbacks do. But this team is good around him. The defense is good. The talent around Caleb is good. So when Caleb does good, the weapons won't get any credit. They won't say DJ Moore was cooking this Washington Commanders CB. They won't say Rome was cooking such and such. They won't say Keenan Allen such and such and such. They're gonna say Caleb did this and that.
Totally. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of high expectations on him right now. He definitely did walk into probably the best situation of a number 1 overall pick. You know, you have a top 5, maybe even a top 3 defense. You have a future Hall of Famer in Keenan Allen. You have a Pro Bowl-like wide receiver in DJ Moore, which he should have made it last year. Then you got Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, Tyler Scott, DeAndre Swift, Shane Waldron as your offensive coordinator. And things are just looking super solid. So like you're kind of saying, this is the move that put us over the top to now start winning some major games and potentially make a deep playoff run.
Yeah, because Ryan Poles invested a lot into getting Caleb Williams. You invested, like, the reason the Bears had the number 1 overall pick is because how bad Carolina was. They didn't get the pick because they had a bad year. They got the pick because of Carolina. That was the move that set them up. And you traded the number 1 overall pick 2 years ago, where the Panthers gave you a haul, including DJ Moore. Thank you, Panthers. So you pretty much invested a lot into getting Caleb Williams. So he should be the guy if you did invest into him. Because if you look at the Panthers that invested a lot into getting Bryce Young, their franchise got sent back 15 years because of that trade.
Yeah, I was jumping for joy when we ended up with that trade. I mean, DJ Moore alone was a huge part of that trade, and getting him gave us that true wide receiver 1. We were kind of hoping that would help Justin out, but in the end, obviously that didn't work out. So then we ended up getting a ton of picks. I mean, we got Darnell Wright out of it, Tyreek Stevenson, Caleb Williams, DJ Moore. We still have a 2nd-round pick next year. Things are just, that trade right there will go down as one of the greatest moves in Chicago sports history, and probably top 3 move by the Chicago Bears in their history.
Don't forget about Tory Taylor, because we did acquire a Philadelphia, because when we traded back to get Darnell Wright. So yeah, so we got to include Tory Taylor, man. That dude's a machine when it comes to punting the football.
Yeah, it's nice to have a very talented punter. I mean, I know Trenton Gill had that 73-yard punt against the Broncos this preseason. Good for him, but we've been dead last in punting the last 2 seasons, and we went out and got a guy that's arguably the best in the last 20 years in college, and now he's a Chicago Bear, and we got him for a 4th-round pick. So I know a lot of people were a little dicey about that, why are we drafting a punter at 4?
I scratched my head. My head.
I mean, you get a generational type guy, and that's why you go out and trade for him. So you draft him, trade up for, or get that pick, you end up getting him. Overall, just Tory Taylor's a really good punter, and we're set now for a long time because punters last 15, 20 years in the NFL.
So what do you think about Tyson Bagent? I know you and Eric Kramer had a conversation about it about when Justin was hurt, and like I know Bagent's a part of our roster. So, what do you think about Tyson Bagent?
I mean, at the time, a lot of people thought Eric was crazy when he said, like, we're better off with Bagent as our quarterback instead of Justin's. I was like, no way. And now everyone's saying it, 6 months later. So clearly a former NFL quarterback definitely understands what to do and how to be a winner on the field. I mean, he is the single season best Bears quarterback in history. But Tyson Bagent, it's a good thing to have, and injuries happen all the time in the NFL. Later in the season, let's say the Bears are, in a playoff position. They want Caleb for the playoffs. They don't want to take a chance of hurting him. Throw Tyson Bagent in there. You're still going to win games with him. He went 500 as the Bears starter last season in 4 games. He's got a great arm. It's definitely improved from last year. He has a great arm now. Let me rephrase that. He's a great arm now. Last year was a little bit on the weaker side. He's definitely worked on the deep ball, pretty accurate, good at reading the field, plays with a lot of confidence. But that's a really good thing to have. It's not the Bears a quarterback one battle being mediocre. It's the fact that now we have a solid quarterback one that hopefully leads us to a very successful future. And then we have a second string guy that can go in at any given moment to be the guy to still help us win games and us not lose momentum. It's a great problem to have, and I'm super pumped that the Bears have Tyson Bagent still.
I was wanting us to sign Ryan Tannehill. I can't believe he's still on the market to this day.
Tannehill, he's an interesting. He's not. I mean, obviously he has had success in the NFL. He kind of reminds me of Andy Dalton with the Bengals. He was good there. He had his runs, but it was like an inconsistent kind of thing. He's on the older side of things now. He's made over $200 million in his career, so he might not even be pushing to play. I mean, like if he retired today, like he's totally fine. His family for the next 6-7 generations are totally fine. He doesn't need to make any more money and put his body through that anymore. Someone comes calling him to be a backup, he's not going to say no to a couple $1 million. But I wasn't too throttled to go out and get Ryan Tannehill. He'd be Andy Dalton all over again. Caleb would still start over him for sure. We wouldn't do that again. But I'm okay with the Bears not getting him. But if they end up bringing him in for some weird reason, good for him. Happy to have him as a Bear.
Or maybe since Eric Kramer wants to, have you convinced Eric Kramer to come out of retirement and play for the Bears?
I've tried convincing him when I was with him a couple weeks ago to be a coach for the Bears. He goes, I would never. He likes his life after football, just being very chill. So I've tried coaching, but not playing.
Yes, this guy interviewed a former quarterback that currently has the most touchdowns in Chicago Bears history, Eric Kramer. I could see Caleb breaking a lot of Bears records, because I mean the rookie touchdown record is 11. The passing yards was I think the passing yards for a rookie was 2,193 with Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, it's something that's the bar is very low for Caleb Williams. He should have no problems going over that feat of all the Bears rookie quarterback records, and even maybe all the single season records that Eric Kramer, like you were saying, does own.
Like I said, the standard that will get me excited is if he beats the Packers.
You and me both, brother. I would love to finally take back, the title of having the better record against the Packers. It's been a tough last 12 years, but the Bears are looking good. Packers, I'm not too scared of anymore, and hopefully, like you said, we get some wins again from this year.
I listen. Until we beat the Packers, I'm not dropping a video on them. I'm not doing it. I'm staying silent. Like the only 2 teams I'm talking smacky to, is the Vikings and maybe the Lions, because we should have swept the Lions. The Vikings we should have also swept. Justin Fields was in that game, we would have won. Probably.
In the one at Soldier Field? Yeah, the home game.
Yeah.
Justin wasn't playing too well though. I honestly think Bagent gave us a better opportunity in that, because Justin was all over the place. He was running all over the field. He was shaking, like a little shaky. So I don't know who would have won that. I mean, we lost the game in the end, but I think if Tyson Bagent, no matter what, we would have lost that game. We just weren't prepared as a team at that point.
Yeah, because the Bears would have won the game if Bagent didn't fumble and he had a stronger arm, because that was the reason why the interception happened,
Exactly.
because of the arm strength. But I will give him credit where it's due. The game was competitive where it was in. It just wasn't enough. And then people were like running wild with that Bagent. Oh, let's start Bagent. Screw Fields. Like, let's just start Bagent. And I'm like, and then I kind of like I play like devil's advocate, be like, okay, maybe what if this happens? So I watched the Chargers game. I'm like, okay, let's start Fields.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. But and the pass is the pass. Bagent's quarterback 2, Williams is 1, and Fields is quarterback 2 in Pittsburgh. So I look at it now as like, hey, those days happen. We had those tough blows. We're good to go now. We're going to be a fun team to watch this year.
So, anyways, we got 4 minutes because, like I said, Jay, he's got a busy life. Even though he has a sponsorship, what's it called? Bet on US.
That is one of my sponsors for this past month. Yes, Bet US.
Yeah, Bet US. Like, even though he has a sponsorship, and I do plan on being in your position one day, I'm pretty sure you've reviewed my channel. I do want to, be like you one day. So, I just, I've seen the work about what you do, and I think you run a very, very good channel. So, speaking of which, I'm not sure if you've seen him.
My man, Don Burr. What's going on, Don? Nice to see you. I hope to see you next week in a couple of videos.
So, I don't know if you like seen some of my videos on my channel, but I know you did your research on me. Obviously, I did my research on you. So, I just, I'm excited for this year. The season starts in 1 week, and what's going to be really top, what's going to be really fun is if we, shut up Jeffrey Simmons. We still haven't forgotten about that.
Yeah, that comment is definitely going to come up a lot this week, and I am also looking forward to him being very quiet after we beat the Titans in week 1.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Because I remember all that talking. Don't take the Titans too lightly. So, we got 8 people in here. Let's hit that like button, man. Just to like, this is the first time I'm collaborating with somebody that's not Keek on the mic. It's actually Keek on the mic and did a collaboration with you. He's a cool dude. Shout out to Keek if he's watching this.
Yeah, Keek and I do a lot of work together. He obviously came up with Claws Up, so that was a really cool music video, and he's a good guy to work with. Definitely another good channel to go out. He has very good insight, so I love Keek's stuff. It's a really good channel. So if everyone in here hasn't seen it, go check out Keek on the mic.
Majority have. He's been on my channel so many times.
Nice. Yeah, I got to do something with him soon. He actually thanks for reminding me. He texted me. I have to text him back.
Yeah, he's probably saying, "What are you doing with Michael?" Like, he's saying, "Hey, are you doing that show with Michael?" Anyways, I'm dropping Just Another Year Chicago's YouTube channel in the comment section. So y'all go check him out. Show him some love.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Michael. And it's been a lot of fun today. It's going to be a really great season, so I hope you're ready for it, because we got a lot of good football ahead of us for a long time, it looks like. So if everything pans out, everything will be going just fine for the Chicago Bears.
So anyways, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. Well, thanks again for having me on. I'm excited for the season. I think that before we logged on, I was doing the schedule review. So that's dropping on Monday. Have a super awesome giveaway coming out for you guys. So if you guys head over to the channel on Monday, that's where it kicks off. But this team looks good. Just reviewing the schedule as a whole, this Bears team is going to win a ton of ball games this year. They're on the right progression. They're making the right strides. Team's going to look really good this year. And I'm pounding the money line for the Chicago Bears this year for over 8.5 wins.
Yeah, make sure to bet your money wisely, folks. So anyways, this is the Chicago Sports Talk. Michael, once again, thank you, Jay, for coming on here. and we're out of here.